Bishop Knight. Roberta, that's probably her. That's it. Lady. There she is. How are you, Denny? Everything going good? Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's online stuff. GP and said it. Saw you running right behind you. That's your mom. What's wrong with it?
Good days. Behind me. Normally I'm trailing her.
Well,
Don't you
I
tell her that.
couldn't tell. I mean, dude, they look so much alike. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I knew it was you. And then
Normally I'm tracking her down.
I think you must have gone 5, 7, 10 miles. That's why I ran out a little gas. These hot days, you better be careful. I did already. You can't.
Come on, it's good.
Yeah, well, I'm just lucky to walk.
Over here by herself. I had to call her up front.
Exit over there. Hey, Susan.
Susan Wilcutt to the front, please. Susan Wilcutt to the front.
Something I said. Talk about you sitting way back there. Now she get after you. Sorry, we can't do that. Oh, man.
Well, now it's time for Bobby Goins to enter. He normally about 30 seconds. It works within the last minute. Yeah, you be here. I'd like to call to order the work session, August the 14th, 2023. The invocation will be given by the First United Methodist Director of Worship, Roberta Bishop Knight. The Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Commissioner Louis Alford. Please stand.
Let us pray. Dear God, we acknowledge you as Creator, and we thank you for all you've done for us. We ask for you to forgive our sins, and at this time, we pray for your wisdom, your courage, your grace, your love, your compassion, your long-suffering, your mercy, and your truth. These things we all ask for in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll go to the report from the county mayor. Mayor Davis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. I have copies of 2 resolutions that I would like to request you to put on next week's agenda. The first one is a resolution for ambulance service billing contract.
Mr. Chairman, I'll carry it for him.
Okay. And the other one is a resolution for the contract for the inmate medical care at the Justice Center.
That one, I think Commissioner Slater will carry.
Okay, both of those have gone through the bid process and are ready to come to you. If you have any questions, just let me know. The other thing I have, Alan, are you by yourself? Okay. We have Alan Ledford with us today. He's the Assistant Director of Cleveland State's Adult Education, and he would like to come and explain to you what's going on at Cleveland State with adult education. Alan?
Thank you, Mayor Davis. A lot of you I recognize and know you for many, many years. My name is Alan Ledford. I'm the new Assistant Director of Adult Education for Cleveland State. We are providing adult education services for Bradley, Polk, Meigs, McMinn, and Monroe counties. TCAT of Athens was your provider for this area, but as of July 1st, we have moved into that spot to provide adult education. Our primary services that we do for your county is we provide GED HiSET programs for people that have not received their GED or HiSET. That includes into our facilities and our jail facilities. We also provide job training to industries, and we're just trying to get out to each of our counties and tell them that what services we provide. We do some soft skills training for industries. We've got some partnership right now with Valker Chemicals. We also have some partnerships in our other counties with others, and we're really interested in opening up other partnerships with other industries. But the biggest thing that we've been very successful with, and our predecessor was successful with, was the jail programs.
Does anyone have any questions about the, go ahead if you do.
It's good to see you again. I remember you when you taught at Bradley and all the good work that you did there. How do if you're not referred by an agency, how do you get into your program?
Actually, our program is set up at Cleveland State.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't have their high school diploma or they're needing job training, they just come over to our facility at Cleveland State. One of the things that we've really pushed for, and we actually started in the jail at Bradley, was a boot camp for welding, which those people that do not have any kind of skills at all, they could go to this welding program, which was a 2-week program, and they could walk out with certification in welding. We've added to that an HVAC program, where I think the HVAC is 6 weeks, that you come out in 6 weeks with HVAC certification. And we've done a culinary one we just finished in the jail where you can get a culinary thing. So a lot of people, not just our jail population, but a lot of people are needing job skills right now to be competitive in the market. So they're open and they don't have to do any kind of certification or any kind of registration. They just come over to our facility or call our facility and give that out. And I'd like to give out, before I leave, I'd like to give out my card to everybody and get our numbers out there to everybody.
So they can cut through that by just coming and seeing you.
They just come over to Cleveland State and see us over in the Career Education Building at Cleveland State.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Any other questions? No, thank you. This is the program that you've been hearing a lot about at the Justice Center that's been going on. And I think it's some of the other neat programs, such as the one he mentioned at Valker. You can actually go to work at Valker, go to school 2 days a week or 3 days.
Well, Valker was running into the problem that some of our industries run into, and that problem was that their requirement is that you have a high school diploma. And fortunately, with the job market there's just a lot of people who don't have their high school diploma. So Valker went out there, and this is a big initiative Valker did, is they went out there and hired people temporarily. And as the mayor said, a couple days a week they would take classes with us. But the requirement was that within, I think it was like a month or 2 months, they had to get their high school diploma. If they didn't get their high school diploma, then they would not be able to stay. So that's a good possibility for some of our other industries in our areas, and we're pushing that one out there. But this gets more people for the Drive for 55 the governor's been pushing for. We're getting more people certified, and now with our new partnership with Cleveland State, we're able to get college degrees also. So not just our high school diplomas, we're getting associate's degrees too.
Commissioner Thompson.
Well, thank you, Alan. If there's no other questions, we appreciate you coming and explaining the program to us.
We've got one here.
Oh.
Commissioner Thompson.
I was just going to tell Alan, I appreciate him, and I miss your dad sitting up here with us, sat here with us many years.
Yeah, sat there for many years. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I would like to recognize a couple of guests here. Chamber of Commerce, Mike Griffin. Thank you. I think you attend as often as the commissioners do. Thank you. And the Director of Schools, Susan Wilcutt, is representing Director of Schools. Thank you very much. And we'll go now from the reports from the committees and our districts. We'll start on our right with Commissioner Beatty, please.
Everything looks pretty good in the first district.
Thank you. Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, I need to set a meeting for the emergency service on August 21st at 11 o'clock. And that'll be it.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Alford.
Yes, second district's doing really well, and I'm really looking forward to hearing Trustee Smith's report this morning.
Is it the golf part or the money?
No comment.
He's back playing golf.
Commissioner Blake, please.
Well, I woke up this morning looking forward to the report from the trustee. Now, last week the public schools started there. This week our universities will start. Lee University is welcoming a lot of kids over across the street here, and I want to wish them all the best as they enter into their respective degrees. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Collins, please.
All is well in District 3. I have nothing to report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Commissioner Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The 60 highway is moving along. We've got some paving that's going to be happening pretty soon, and for us in the neighborhoods, we're excited for that. So TDOT's very busy. I think the schools have progressed pretty well, but the lines are very long. You have your patience really tested, and I think everybody's been calm and easy, but it takes a while to get into your school and get out of your schools, especially if you come 20 and 30 minutes early and you sit there and wait, and then you go for a while. So it's just, at this point, it's the growing pains. I have the honor to be the chairman of the Legal and Legislative Committee. We had a very fruitful meeting this last week, covered a number of issues, and have a couple of recommendations to make for the commission. First, we voted to recommend the commission to invite the city of Cleveland to join us in submitting a letter to our legislative delegation, including Senator Swan, requesting the Department of Revenue, with respect to 911 fee, provide collection information, actual and projected growth numbers, and payout. As the mayor shared with us in the committee, the 911 fee revenue has not increased to match the growth we have in Bradley County. We believe there should be more revenue available for our 911. Mr. Chairman, I place this recommendation on the August 21 voting session agenda.
Great. Done.
We also have voted to dissolve the Emergency Services Internal Standing Committee, which currently handles all ambulance and fire issues, and create an internal standing committee for fire and an internal standing committee for EMS. We believe logistically this is the best way of covering these departments that will soon have two separate heads. Mr. Chairman, I place this resolution on the August 21 voting session agenda.
Done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
That's all? Okay. Commissioner Gilbert, please.
Chairman,
Yes.
we may want to add that doesn't start till September.
Right. Yeah.
You may want to put
Very,
that in
very
there.
good point. Obviously, the committees will stay in place as they are until the new organization of the commission, and I guess that's September. Thanks for that point.
That's great. Commissioner Gilbert. Commissioner Thompson.
Fourth, doing well.
Commissioner Goins.
Fifth District soon well. It's nice to drive on South Lee Highway without but I'm kind of preparing for them to come through and cut the manhole covers, which is about a 3 or 4 inch around so it won't.
It won't last long.
It'll be nice, but you'll still have to go around it. That's all I have.
Commissioner Slater.
I have nothing to report today, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Mason.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of things. The TDOT litter grant, the monthly report for July, county road miles was 282 miles, state road miles 100, city road miles 50. We collected 950 pounds of recycled materials, and we also, total pounds for the month was 13,080 pounds. We're a little bit behind, a lot of rain, a lot of bad weather, so just bear with us. And this Wednesday, August 16th, here at the Commission Room, 9 a.m., I have a Bradley County Road Committee meeting. That's all I have, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple items. Had a few calls on the ditches not being mowed. Of course, rain has been a problem with that. So I called Tom, and he's promised he's working on it. and get the ditches mowed just as soon as it's safe for the workers to get those ditches mowed. Last week, George Gray was here. I just want to give a big thank you to him. He is taking my place on the HCI committee. And my brother turns 64 today, and my grandson turned 17 last Thursday. And Mr. Chairman, if we can, I've got Dwight Woodcock. He is the American Legion adjutant commander. He wants to come speak to us for just a moment.
Please, sir.
Dwight.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commission. My name is Dwight Woodcock, and I am the adjutant of the American Legion Post 81. Along with myself and Commander Williams, we had the pleasure of shepherding some 600 local heroes here in town. I was fortunate enough this year to become the Recruiter of the Year for the state of Tennessee for the American Legion. With that duty, I have some special guests coming to town I'd like to invite you to come meet on September the 9th. At 1300, that's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, will be a Saturday. The state commander, who has 178 posts and 22,000 members across the state, will be here. Along with him, he is bringing the national commander of the American Legion, 2.8 million members, 13,000 posts across America. He would be interested. He will meet with everyone who chooses to come by and say hello to him. He'd like to know what's going on in your local communities that he can take to Washington. And if you got some questions of him, he'd like to relay some information to you in real time. So we encourage you to come visit us on Saturday, September the 9th at 1 o'clock. RSVP, so I know that you're coming. Just call the post and let us know you're coming. Lastly, something was set up here a moment ago. It caught my attention, was the number 911. That's a very important number around our community. And I would encourage you to take to your the word I'm looking for, your folks, if you please. If in America and across our community, if you know someone having a mental health crisis or emotionally unfit for a moment, you may dial 988 anywhere in America, 988. With that number, if you're a 14-year-old girl missing your first boyfriend, call. If you're a combat veteran, call that number. As soon as somebody picks up the phone, push option 1, and it's veteran to veteran, 988. I appreciate the time. I'll take any questions Joe may have.
Any questions, please?
You've been very kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Ledford.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to apologize for my tardiness today. I too, like Commissioner Blake, Commissioner Alford, really wanted to hear Trustee Smith report, and I drove as fast as I could down 64 Highway trying to get back from Blue Ridge, Georgia this morning. So sorry for being a few minutes late, but I don't have anything to report today. Just wanted to apologize for my tardiness.
Well, thank you very much. You don't have long to wait. We're going to go into the agenda items. Agenda item A is Trustee Mike Smith, please.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mayor, accordance with the Bradley County investment policy, it requires me to make a report to the County Commission the first work session of August. I always look forward to it, and I know some of you through the year tell me how much this report means to you. So I'm glad to be here. So I've got a lot of information to share with you. I'll be going through it fairly fast, but if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, and I'll be here after the meeting if you have any questions after the meeting. Lori, thank you for taking care of the screen. First thing, we get a lot of positive comments about our partial payment programs. This was put in place back in 2010. It is a very popular program. We have a lot of people on it. You can see on that screen there, back in 13, we had 573. Now we're up to 1,865, 1,014 bank drafts, and 851 walk-in payments being made by people coming into the office or by mail. Partial payment program, how much do we collect? You can see that there. This year we're anticipating $1.5 million in partial payments. Rollover estimate is $645,000. What this does in relation to what this commission does is helps for cash flow in the fall. We start collecting in the fall. We can't roll that amount over per state agreement until October. But it helps with cash flow, and because most of your property tax, most of you know this, most of your property tax doesn't really hit until December when the mortgage payments come in. And so everything we can do to increase cash flow during that time, we're glad to do it. We also have a partial payment plan that taxpayers may use just October through February. And we also take partial payments on our delinquent taxes that are not transferred to the clerk and master. And all partial payment programs have been approved by the Tennessee Comptroller's Office and the Bradley County Commission. We have two programs that help our senior citizens and our veterans. Tax freeze program. We currently have 1,093 parcels on tax freeze. That's a local program. And then on tax relief, which is a state program, we have 1,469, and the state reimburses Bradley County taxpayers $342,599 last year. Now, one thing we ran into, and you guys, I've been reading about how you've been wrestling with the new appraisals and the impact of what that's going to do to your tax base. It's also going to attack the people on the impact the people on the tax relief. Where I'll give you an example. Say if you're a county resident only, you'd get a $130 discount last year. That amount's going to go down to about $80 to $85 this year. So that's the impact that it's going to have on local taxpayers. This is just a pie chart. You can see most of the people that's on tax relief are the elderly senior citizens. Sales tax. I like to show this every year, showing the increase. This is site-based, where it's collected in the city of Charleston, city of Cleveland, and Bradley County. And you can see every year we have increased our sales tax. Last year I mentioned to you that I was concerned about the sales tax decreasing during the COVID. It didn't. We had 1 month that we kind of broke even. Every other month, other than that 1 month, there was an increase. So Bradley County showed strong sales, and also, as you know, we get sales also on internet sales also. So Bradley County is doing real good as far as the sales tax. You can see it's just not a little increase every year. It's major increases. What does that do? Last screen was site-based. This is distribution. You can see what where the sales tax goes. It goes to Bradley County, county schools, city of Cleveland, and city of Charleston. So you can see there in 2020, 2021, the reason Charleston's amount is lower is the state made an error, paid them too much the years before, so they were just catching up. The state was on that year. But you can see there that every group that the sales tax goes to in distribution, it does increase, has increased every single year. Tax revenue, this is real personal and utilities billed. This is how much we sent bills out for. And that gives you an idea through the years of the increase that we've seen in tax revenue. Go all the way back to 2007, $38.2 million. Last year, 50.7. See that through all the houses, and have been going up through the years. Just about every piece of land that's available to build on is getting built on. So that's the impact of that. 2020 in lieu of taxes, I know a lot of commissioners through the year will give me a call and say, what have we got in lieu of taxes? Are we giving too much money away? Exactly what is it? This list changes every year. We'll have some industries that will fall off and some industries will come in. I know you approved 2 major ones the last few months. Those are not on this screen yet. They should show up next year. This is 2022. But you can see that even if you give an in lieu of taxes, the total amount, those people that get the in lieu of tax, they are still paying something. So last year, we got almost $2.5 million in lieu of taxes. Let's talk about interest a little bit. This was a challenge, my most challenging year, to be honest with you, trying to make sure that we were generating as much interest through our investments as we could get. I remember telling last year that we were down to investing 90 days. Well, after I told you that last August, we went down to investing 30 days. And the reason was the rates were going up so fast over the last year, we didn't want to miss the curve. And so we did really well, I think, by doing that. The interest last year was $3.1 million. Is 87% of the Fed fund rate. I would love to see that back 100 to 105. That's the goal. But you can see in June of 2023, after making these further investments, I'll show you on the next screen, June was 121. Now, if you'll remember back, the ones that were here, and I'll give you a little history, the ones that weren't, back in 2010, 2011, we had the same situation. Rates dropped tremendously, and then as they came up, we were well ahead of where we wanted to be as far as a percent of the Fed fund rate. We were 7, 8, 900%, which was just because we were wise enough to make those investments a long period of time, taking advantage of the Fed fund rate and the interest rates we could receive. So the June 2023 interest earned was 121%. Next year, it's kind of hard to guess, but I would say we'd be at least 2 or 3, 400% next year. The new banking contract that we've got in place carries us through 2027. It will pay 10 basis points above the Fed fund rate, which is going to help us on our interest earned percentages. In 2006, Chairman Connie Wilson of the Finance Committee, along with her committee and some investment counselors that we use in investment group, we sat down. We weren't taking, Bradley County was not taking advantage of the available funds we had through looking at the cash flow to maximize what we had investment. We changed that. We look at cash flow at least once every 2 weeks and make sure that we're not missing something, leaving money on the table. And what we did, we changed the way we did that. The other thing we changed was the bidding process. We had some banks that were not happy with Bradley County at that time, and they would not bid because for one reason or the other, they didn't think it was fair. So what we did, we eliminated all the loopholes in that area, and we go by sealed bids. The banks know exactly when those bids are going to be open and what time, and everyone is invited as commission, the public's invited to attend those bid openings. Whoever's got the highest bid, when I open those up, that's the one that gets the investment. And it's worked out well. I think the banks appreciate that, and we do our best to work with all the banks. And I know Mike's here somewhere. Worked with Mike for years, and he really helped Bradley County. And all the banks in Bradley County have stepped forward and helped us. So if you got a relationship with your bank president or some of the employees at the bank, thank them for what they do to Bradley County. It really helps. We showed the change at a little over $7 million between what we do and what was being done. But our total interest collected from 2006 through June 2023 has been a little over $19 million. And I'd like to thank our investment committee, Buster Stewart and Gary McDonald. We usually have 3, but right now we've only got 2. Those guys, through free of charge, helping Bradley County, they have really helped us look at some things that I was not clear on at the time. The chairman of the finance committee, they weren't clear on, but Buster and Gary has really helped us a lot. And if you know them, you run into them, thank them also. Excess fees returned to Bradley County. The trustee's office is a fee office. And you can see there that since 2006, we've returned $13.3 million. And one thing I'd like to say about that also is I also work through the budget system. And I'm pretty tight, with our office budget. But when I have needed something, you guys have been very, very good at the trustee's office. So thank you very much. Efficiency. Since 2006, we've implemented numerous programs. The number of parcels to be collected has risen from 46,591 in 2006 to 55,463 in 2023, a 19% increase. We also, in 2015, began collecting Charleston City taxes. And what that does, no more additional costs. We bill them on our bill, same amount of mailing, but they do pay us a certain percentage for collecting their taxes. So it's not a free service. Charleston does carry their weight. HCI funds. I want to spend a little time on this screen. You can see the HCI funds. We got approximately $17.5 million invested for HCI funds. We got some in interfund loans. We got some in CDs. You can see that this past year, we turn an estimate available 2023 be 595. But let me tell you what's coming up the next 3 years after that. We can already see it because of the length of investments, which is 2 years that we've got now. This commission will have somewhere between $700,000 and $750,000 in HCI funds to spend each year. Okay, that's a lot of money. We had that back in 2007, 2008, I think it was, Gary, before we got hit with a downturn in the economy back in those days. The one thing that I would advise the commission on this, and this is very easy to do, and we did it. The commission did it back in the days that we were getting that $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in investment returns. There was recurring cost put in there with the library fund. Island knows all about that. You guys moved that a year or two ago to debt service, which was a wise thing to do. And the reason it was wise is because the rates went down to almost nothing. Well, they're going to go down again. I don't know when, but they're going to go down. It's going to be tempting to do something like that, but I would advise this commission not to do anything on recurring cost. Okay? You don't have to take my advice, but that's just what I'd advise. Long-term investments. At the end of this year, you can see the banks that we had our investments in and what they were paying. The highest was Capstar at 47.47 and 0.40, Southeast 0.20 and 0.15. Okay, look at the date. That's 6/22. We had $25 million invested. Here we are, $26 million to invest. Look at the rates you've got on the right side. That's where your additional money is coming from that we're going to be turning back into the county for use, and also part of that is HCI funds. Electronic billing. We went and really pushed this the last couple of years, and good response. And I think that's not going to do anything but grow. Estimate by 2023, 40% of all parcels will be paid electronically. We're close. We're about 38% now. I hope we jump up a couple more percent this year. The benefits in electronic is reduced labor, printing, and mailing cost. Plus, the younger generation, that's all they deal with is electronics, and that's how they pay their bills. That's how they get their information. That's going to be the growing thing. And I've said before, I'll be gone, and hopefully you guys will still be around, but years in the future, and probably not that many, there will be very few people that wants a paper bill. But as long, the last statement there, as long as someone wants it, we'll send it out. But it won't be long, but all the statements, most of the statements will be going out electronic. Excuse me. And I'd like to thank you guys. Went through it pretty fast, but I'd like to thank you guys and gals for your help to the trustee's office and your help in helping Bradley County citizens. My job, one of the main jobs is collect property taxes. but we do a lot more in the trustee's office. We really attempt to help the citizens of Bradley County, especially our senior citizens and our veterans, all of them that qualify for our programs. I'm going to have some brochures that'll be printed next month that I always let you know that you're welcome to if you have district meetings. Take them, pass them out. We'd love more people to be signing up for our partial payment programs and our tax relief and our tax freeze. So we do all we can to assist you and assist the people of Bradley County. I'll be glad to answer any questions. That was fast, I know.
Commissioner Blake, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Trustee. I appreciate that. A couple of questions. Well, first, I want to, and hopefully the commission is aware of this, but just in case, I think it was about a month ago, Commissioner Winters and I sit on the Bradley County Nursing Home Board, the healthcare one, and it came to our attention that there was an opportunity to invest a little bit more. They contacted you, and make a long story short, you were able to help them through that bidding process that you just described, and I was there and opened up all the bids one at a time. And I'm going by memory, which I shouldn't do, but their revenue projection with respects to their interest was, I believe, under 5,000 or something like that. After you did the bidding process, that revenue projection went up to 54,000. So I just want to say I appreciate you stepping up and helping them out. We chatted about that the other day over at the nursing home board, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Just a real quick question. It's more of a clarification thing. You talked about the partial payment program, and that's for the entire county. But does the citizens of Charleston also have to sign up if they want that for their particular property tax for Charleston?
Yes.
So they would have to sign up for countywide and for Charleston.
No, just one time. Because it's all billed the same. Charleston, Bradley counties on one bill. We'll sign them up for partial payments for that bill, which includes Charleston and Bradley County.
So they sign up for the whole thing, and Charleston comes with it.
Right.
Okay. On one of your pages, you had the interest that you were receiving. I guess that went from what 15, 16 million or something like that, or 25. Does that include the ARP money, the federal money, in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we got a total of overall about 21 million thereabouts. We've quickly spent, I think, about half of it, Mayor. I think that's about right. Which last time I saw leaves us a little over 10 million left that's being invested. So
yeah,
that's
and let me say this: I'm not sure if the ARP money was included in this slide. I'm not sure about that because it's kind of in its own box.
It is, yeah.
So we really treat it separately as we're required to do. So be honest with you, I can't tell you whether ARP money's included.
I was just looking because I've been looking at those interest numbers that it comes in, and if that was a part of that, then I needed.
Well, it should be. The ARP money should be over 5 because, like we were talking about with the bank contract, it's paying 10 basis points over Fed fund rate. So
yeah, it's doing well. It's doing well, and we're benefiting from that as well. The last thing, I guess, is
I didn't know there was going to be this many questions. I wasn't prepared. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I lost my train of thought. It worked.
Sorry about that.
It'll come back to me in a minute.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Winters, please.
Commissioner Smith, thank you for all you've done. You've been very open in all the communication with all of us, very transparent. This is transparency at the highest level. Thank you for doing that. Thanks for the payment plan. That saved me. I'm always a procrastinator, and I want to do it the last of the month, the last of the 12 months. And it's a larger figure than I want to deal with. So thanks for doing that. That came out of your. Plus, also, you're the person that set up the competition for the banks. If I'm not mistaken, prior to that, it was pretty well set up with a bank or two. But you took it on, and you took it on with some opposition. And that was a great move. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Thompson, please.
I ain't got a lot to say, except I appreciate the job you do, Mike, every year. Only question I have, do you have any brochures you can send out on this old age discount?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We'll have printed in September. We'll have those ready in September and probably the middle of September. And if, when you guys want some, I could either send some here to the courthouse, I'll do that, and put them in Lori's office. But if you need additional ones, be glad to provide them. Also, if you have district meetings, I don't know if anyone does that, but if you have district meetings, and that's one thing you're going to discuss, I'll be glad to attend those meetings, or if I'm unavailable, I'll have someone in my office to attend those meetings.
We're all getting old, I just wondered. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, please? Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For all you do for the HCI committee. When I got on that HCI at the beginning of it, our first one, like you said, was like in the 400s and 500s, and last year was 105. So me and Tim have appointed George Gray is going to be taking my place on the HCI committee, and for them to have, you said about $700,000. That is going to be phenomenal because we're always, when we have people apply grants for the HCI money, like last year, we had to knock out. I think we took 3. And then a lot of times we'll have 7, 8, 10, and we can't do them all because we don't have enough money. But with this $700,000, we surely ought to be able to do a bunch of whoever applies for these grants, which is, if you look around Bradley County, there's a lot of things. I can't even name everything that the HCI has done. We've done walking tracks and playground equipment and the equestrian at Tri-State. I can't even name it all. The nursing home. We done a pavilion years ago there, an Alzheimer's pavilion. So thank you for creating that money, or for making that money for the HCI, because to me that is very dear to me, the HCI, since it come from the very place that I work at, and that money is showing for the people of Bradley County, it's benefiting them. So I appreciate you doing what you do.
Thank you, Commissioner. One thing I'd like to follow up on that, remember what I mentioned is that that is going to happen the next 2 to 3 years. Now, after that, we don't know what the rates are going to do. When I have to renew what I've got out for 2 years, we don't know what those rates are going to be. So let's enjoy those while we have them, and hopefully we'll continue to get good returns through the years.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you,
Mayor.
Mike. We will now go to communication from the audience. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? All right. Thank you very much. The announcements, Road Committee meeting August the 16th at 9 a.m., Commission Room. Market at the Mill, August the 17th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Old Woolen Mill. Emergency Service meeting, August the 21st at 11 a.m. The next meeting will be the voting session Monday, August the 21st at 12 p.m. here at the courthouse. We are adjourned. Another one under there.